Hey everybody, it's Karen with Food and Family. I am going to show you how I make my black-eyed pea fritters. I think we've made these before, but we're having them for dinner tonight, so I thought I'd show you again how I'm making mine. So I've got 1 can of black-eyed peas that I've drained. Do not rinse. So using a big fork, I'm using my blending fork, I'm going to mash them. Now, I'm not going to mash them all the way. I want some bigger pieces of peas left in it, but I want it mashed pretty good because we're making fritters out of this, and I want them to stay together, and mashing them up will help do that. So, but I will leave some whole. Oh, and it looks so good. Y'all, these are so good if you've not tried them. And I'm going to show you, after we cook them up, how I make a sauce that goes with them that is so yummy. And it's delicious on a lot of vegetables. Okay, so you can see how I've got that mashed up. I've tried to move my pan over here a little bit, so hopefully you can see a little bit better. I want to put a little bit of butter. I've got some oil in my pan. So I want to add a little bit. I want to add about a tablespoon of butter. Now butter is just going to give it a lot of flavor. And that oil is going to help keep the butter from burning. Okay, so to these peas, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of flour. Now, I'm going to heap them up a little bit, and altogether it may be 4 level. But 3 tablespoons of flour. Then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of minced onion. I have some pretty finely minced onion, maybe a little bit more. And some garlic powder. We're going to add a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm going to add a teaspoon of onion powder. I know I've got onions, but the onion powder just gives it a little different flavor. And I'm going to add some Cajun seasoning to this. I'm just going to add a little bit because I'm going to put it in my sauce. I'm going to add about 1/2 teaspoon. But I'm going to add a little bit of smoked paprika as well, about 1/2 teaspoon. That is not in my original recipe. So let's stir this around. We'll see if we need a little more flour because we want them to hold together. I need 1 egg. Let me grab that. I forgot to get the egg. Have you guys, I know y'all have seen how expensive the eggs have gotten lately. Tell me what they are in your area. I bought 1.5 dozen at my local grocery store the other day, and I gave just over $8 for 18 eggs. Now I bought extra large, but I thought that was high. So I think I need a little bit more flour. Just a little bit more. I'm going to put 1 more tablespoon. Since that was an extra large egg, I think it needed it. Now, that is so much better. I don't want to cover up the taste of the peas completely, but you need enough of that flour to keep them together. So I'm going to use a small scoop. This is like 2 tablespoons, and I'm going to scoop it into this hot oil and butter. And I hope you can see it cooking in there. I've had several of you say you couldn't see, so I'm trying to get it around where you can. And then when these come up, we're going to put it on a paper towel lined platter. They do not take long to cook. And I'm going to fry them and let you see one side of them, and then we'll go and come back and let you see the finished. But tonight I'm going to have pork chops. I'm going to have these black-eyed pea fritters, and I'm going to make some stewed tomatoes with bread. And I want you to see how we make it. My husband loves it, and I have not made it for him in a while. But we'll do that in a few minutes after we do this. Good. Well, while that's frying, you know, we can be making our sauce, can't we? So, we just need a pretty little bowl, and we need a half of a cup of sour cream. This is a new, let me get it open. Okay, so let's get, where's my half a cup? Here it is. A half a cup of sour cream. This is so easy, y'all, and so delicious. I was sitting one day and I thought, I think I was cooking black-eyed peas, and I had some Brussels sprouts, and I thought, I need a dip to go with it. And this just come to mind, and I'm so glad it did because it's so delicious. A half a cup of sour cream, two teaspoons of this Cajun seasoning. That might have heaped over a little bit, but that's okay. Lemon juice. Now, all I've got is this in the bottle, and that's quite all right if that's all you have. If you have a fresh lemon, by all means, use it. So we need 2 teaspoons of this lemon juice. We'll taste it and see if we need more. And a little bit more might have run in. That's okay. Let's stir this up and taste it. Isn't it looking so pretty down in there? Serve it in this pretty little bowl alongside these fritters. Or like I said, I roasted Brussels sprouts. Oh, they were so good with those roasted Brussels sprouts. I have a video out on them. So go out and look for it. I think it's pork chops, Brussels sprouts, black-eyed pea fritters. Now, let's turn these fritters. Oh, they're, I don't know if you can see how golden and beautiful that is. And just kind of push it down gently with your spatula. Oh, my goodness, y'all. Now, let's give this a little taste. I think I need a little more lemon juice. But just put salt to taste. Your taste, your preference, if you don't want to put any salt at all. Because really with this lemon juice, you could leave it out and I don't think you would know the difference. Oh, they're so pretty, y'all. I'm going to take them out and put them on this platter, and I want you to see them up closer. Looky here. Isn't that beautiful? That's a beautiful plate right there. That is a delicious sight. So let's get the rest of these going. And we're going to try that. Now this 1 can, and the measurements I gave you is going to make, it's making 8 of these fritters. And that one's a little bit smaller. Or you can make them smaller if you want to, or you can make them larger. That's strictly up to you. Okay, so let's try just a bite of one, okay? Let's get a little bit of that sauce. I just need a little bit to dip in. Now, can you see the inside of that fritter? Oh, it's steaming, isn't it? Can you see? Oh. I I know it's hot. Yeah, that is so creamy, crunchy, delicious. You get a little bit of everything in there, but you still can taste the peas. It didn't take away from the peas, and that's what I wanted. I still wanted to be able to taste the black-eyed peas. I hope you'll try these, and I'm going to finish frying them up, and I'm going to show you how we make the stewed tomatoes. So I took these fritters up. Looky there, how beautiful that plate is. Now I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to show you how I make the stewed tomatoes with bread. I have 1 can of diced tomatoes. Now you can double this, triple it, whatever, but there's only 2 of us. So my pan was really hot, so I just poured them in there. This is so simple, it's not even a recipe. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of butter. Y'all know it's going to have butter in it. And I've got some sliced white bread. I guess you can use the wheat bread, your choice. And it's this simple. Tear your bread up into chunks and put it in there. No onions. If you want onions, put them in there. We like onions here, but we do not want onions in this. For whatever reason, we find that it kind of changes the flavor, the taste, but you know, onions can be sweet. When they're cooked, it brings out their sugars. So he does not like onions in it. So I don't put them in there. And he will eat just about this whole pot by himself. There's a restaurant here in town. It's you can go through the line, they'll serve you, tell you what you want, get a meat in 3, and this is the first thing he looks for. See how that's coming along in there? Can you see that down in that pot? I think you can. I'm gonna put just the smallest amount of salt because you know those tomatoes, didn't have no salt tomatoes. And that's that simple. You let that stew down for just a couple of minutes. And you've got tomatoes, stewed tomatoes and bread. And this is very popular in the South. So it's that simple, guys. Like I said, it's not even a recipe. Tomatoes, bread, butter, and that's it. I appreciate you joining me today, and I appreciate each and every one of you so much. Please like, subscribe, and share my channel. It helps get me out there where other people can see and helps keep me doing what I love to do. And I will see you guys very soon. Bye, everybody.